Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, in which we will cover something quite interesting. Now, EPOMAKER released RT100, which was apparently quite successful keyboard in terms of sales, in terms of, in general, people actually reacting really positively towards it. And now we have the RT80. Now, the RT80 keyboard is non-conventional 75% layout, and that's not all, because as you can see right here, it has two screens. One is touch screen, and the one is just an indication for everything that you need to know. So date, time, you have the battery status, and you can even play some GIF on it, and basically that's it. But here on the touchscreen, you can actually modify it in their software, which is nicely backed up, and we have loads of stuff going through that software, what you can do with this keyboard. But that's not all, because we have loads of stuff to go through. So as you can see right here, we have all the accessories that come inside the box. We have the keycap and switch remover, which means the keyboard is hot swappable. We have an insane cable. This I haven't seen whatsoever. This is really brilliant. Rubberized cable, which is really flexible. On one side you have the USB Type A, and on the other we have the USB Type C, which means it's charged via USB Type C. Then we have some additional keycaps in red, green, blue, black, and white color, so you can match whatever you need, and you can swap the buttons from Windows to Mac to have the proper lettering here, so you know. And then we have 3 additional switches. Now, let's go into details with this keyboard, and I'm going to give you everything that you need to know, because this keyboard sounds quite interesting. So mini display and touchscreen for that additional enhanced functionality. So RT series is actually famous for that, and it has a detachable mini display here on the left top corner that can show different data, such as date and time, battery status, keyboard battery levels, and even GIFs, whatever you decide to go with. In addition to these features, the RT80 has something else. It has 1.54-inch touchscreen in the bottom right corner with resolution of 240 x 240 RGB, which gives you option to add functions like volume control, print screen, quick access to Windows settings, and more, of course, because why not add some additional functions that will make it easier for you to work. Below the touchscreen, there are 3 media control keys for previous track, play, pause, and next track functions. So all of these, the touchscreen, the multimedia keys, mini display, are fully customizable in their EPOMAKER driver software. So this gives you loads of options. I mean, when the keyboard is backed up such nicely with such cool software, this actually gives more value to the keyboard. Now we have the non-traditional 75% layout, what I mentioned, that basically this is how it goes. On the bottom right corner, instead of having arrows, you have that touchscreen and multimedia keys. Arrows are nicely integrated inside the whole main part of the lettering. Then we have on the top right corner possibility to switch the keyboard off, Bluetooth and wireless mode, so 2.4G. Right behind that you have the USB Type-C connectivity, and on the far left corner, as I stated, you have that smaller screen that gives you indication about the status of the keyboard and date, time, and all the other stuff, right? At the back, when we check out, we have 5 rubber feet, and we have 2 possibilities to raise the keyboard with a nice some sort of a sticker or whatever. It says RT80, the model mechanical keyboard with the serial number. Kind of gives a nice touch, I do have to say. Now the inner part of the keyboard is quite interesting, because they wanted to deliver a satisfying typing experience, and believe me, it really is. So it includes 5 layers of sound and feel improving material. So we have Poron sandwich foam, IXP switch pad, PCB foam, PET film, and case foam. To go in the proper order, we have gasket, PC plate, Poron sandwich foam, IXPE switch pad, PE sound enhancement pad, switch socket pad, and bottom foam. Of course, everything is surrounded by the plastic chassis of the keyboard, so it's not aluminium or CNC machined or whatever, it's plastic. So even though it's 1.5 kilos, compared to some other keyboards that I review, it's quite light. We also have tune plate mounted stabilizers, which of course they should reduce unwanted rattling, but we'll check that in the keyboard sound testing. And finally, as I mentioned, we have the switch for the connectivity, and this comes to a point where we have three mode connections. In those terms, we have Bluetooth 5.0, 2.4G wireless, and Type-C wired connection, which gives you quite nice options when we're talking about connectivity in general. Now you can connect the keyboard up to three different devices simultaneously via Bluetooth. So that is also an addition with all the regular connectivity. The battery is 5000 milliampere hours, and to be honest, that's quite good for this type of keyboard. Pulling rate is 1000 Hz with wired connection and 2.4G connectivity, while the Bluetooth mode is 125 Hz. Now, as I mentioned, it's hot swappable. It has hot swappable socket and quite easy to customize it. We have the possibility to change the switches. And since I'm mentioning the switches, this keyboard is currently on pre-order, and you can go with gray, white, or black. And then you can choose the switches. We have EPOMAKER Flamingo switch, and we have EPOMAKER Wisteria switch, which both are linear. So this is quite interesting. And since I'm at that point, the ones that I chose, we have the Flamingo switch, linear 5-pin type with trigger at 47 plus minus 5 grams, and bottom out at 55 plus minus 5 grams. Travel is 2 millimeters to 3.6 millimeters. So I think it's time to hear the switches. The typing in general is outstanding, and the sound is just soothing, relaxing. I mean, enjoyment out of everything. This is insane how this keyboard sounds. Now, what I wanted to add to that part is that the bigger keys with those stabilizers that I mentioned, the spacebar isn't rattling whatsoever, the enter isn't rattling whatsoever, and we have backspace basically minimal. So they did this quite outstandingly good. Now it has also cherry profile PBT keycaps and adjustable two-stage feet at the back, which I mentioned. And finally, we have N-key rollover and south-facing LED, which lights up quite nicely on this keyboard. I do have to admit, I didn't expect it to be this bright, but with a white background behind the keys, it actually makes total sense that it's lit up properly. So you have 16 default lighting patterns and endless customization option with the EPOMAKER driver software. Now, since I mentioned the EPOMAKER driver software, I have to go through that as well so you can know what you can expect. So first we have main. You can go with key settings and other settings. In other settings, you can adjust the key sensitivity. You can detect OES automatically, 2.4G lighting off, Bluetooth light off, and stuff like that. You have, of course, layers, which you can adjust that part as well. And after that, we go with FN settings, which basically gives you an option to adjust the keys individually using the FN button. Next to that, we have macros, screen adjustment, so you can draw something. You have a draw board, you have a touch screen, and my work. Then you can upload to keyboard whatever you want to upload, and we have additional settings down below, which gives you an option to, I don't know, adjust the picture and everything else, and you can even draw by hand. So it's really outstanding what you can do here with the screen adjustment. Then we have the lights. Unfortunately, I didn't notice that there are any static lights, but we have loads of presets. As I mentioned, we have 16 default lighting patterns, which are, I mean, just outstanding in those terms. But you can also adjust the current setting color, dazzle, the brightness, speed, and play mode. Finally, we have the share option, where you can share the lights, share the animation, share the settings, and share the macros, which also means that you can find your ideal preset from some of the guys that uploaded it from their keyboard. And finally, you have my account and about, which give you basically option to more personalization with your personal account in that. So what I can say about this keyboard, when you have this plastic chassis, you wouldn't expect the keyboard to be this good, right? Because everything that I reviewed in those terms to be shocked and amazed had aluminum chassis. It was weighing above 1.5 kilos, like almost 2 kilos and stuff like that. But none of those keyboards actually had touchscreen, an additional screen that you can just simply, check this out, pop it out. And you have a cap over here if you don't want to use it. You place it here and you close it off. In the same compartment, you have the possibility to place your 2.4G dongle. So this is it. It's really straightforward, guys. You just plug it in and it automatically, it will actually synchronize with the EPOMAKER driver software. Immediately when it's connected. I think it takes a bit of a time just to get a hang of it, but it shows the date and time, it shows the actual day in the week, battery status, connectivity that you're using. So you have Bluetooth, wireless and wired. It actually shows with the blue icon which one is which, and you have a possibility to place a GIF here just for additional animation. All in all, I think the touchscreen is quite handy and it's right in the perfect position, because what you can do if you're doing something with the mouse, you can just slide next to it and swipe with your thumb, which give you an option, because you have 16 possibilities to adjust, or maybe 12, maybe I went to double, but 12 possibilities to adjust. Between the backspace and insert and delete, you have 3 indication lights, which also include indication for Windows lock during the game mode. And what can I say? I didn't expect a plastic keyboard from outer shell to be this good. They delivered this one outstandingly good, and I'm quite surprised. First, the typing experience is really there for you guys that like these high-profile keys instead of regular, I would say regular keys. You'll definitely enjoy typing on this one. And plus, you can adjust the legs at the back, which is also outstanding, giving you an option to do whatever you want. You can personalize it with additional keycaps right here. You have 3 additional switches that you get inside the keyboard. And this insane cable, this I've never seen in a single keyboard that I reviewed. So all in all, what I can say is this is definitely outstanding. I mean, PC Crazy creative badge without a doubt, because adding not 1 but 2 screens on the keyboard, just great. Just great, guys. The link for the EPOMAKER RT80 with 2 screens, I have to mention that this is so cool, is in the description below, so you can check out the price and eventually pre-order the keyboard if you're interested in having something like this, because why not? I mean, why not? The screens are just there, and then the typing experience and the sound coming from the keyboard while typing is really on point. So yeah, that's all there is to it, guys. Again, the link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell. More videos coming shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.